Hey everyone, it's Rob the Backyard Gardener here, and it's time for another apple tree update. These are the 3 apple trees that I've grown from seed that were planted or started from seed on January 1st, 2016. So we're just about 17 months in. I'm trying to keep the updates right around the 1st of the month, or at least within a week. And I'll do an update today, and then I'll do another update around July 1st, July 4th, and we'll celebrate their 18-month mark. I do want to point out that I'm only growing these for a fun project. Yes, it is possible to get edible apples from seeds you pulled out of apples that you've bought, but the likelihood of having the same type of apple from seeds you've bought is like really 1 in like 10,000. However, it is possible that you could get your own variety by growing it this way. Keep in mind, apple trees from seed can grow up to 30 feet tall, 30 feet wide, so they can be quite a monster in your yard and take up a lot of space, provide shade, but put a lot of inedible apples out. However, this is a project I've always wanted to do. I'm 17 months in, I'm excited about it, and so I get it. I may not ever get anything I want to eat out of it, or I may find that undiscovered variety that everyone wants. You never know. I just wanted to point that out so all the viewers watching, when you decide to grow something from seed like an apple, just understand it's more of a fun project. It's likely not going to produce something that you will eat typically. Anyway, let's go take a look. So we'll kick it off with the 2 that I have on this side of the yard, and these are the ones I planted a few weeks after the one I'm going to show you last, which was the original first transplant. And these are doing pretty good now. They're starting to get some growth. You can see they've put on additional growth since the last update on them. Down here is even getting some new growth, and you really got to watch these guys for aphids. The aphids are crazy, but what I do is I use my soap and water treatment on them at night, let it sit for a few hours, and then I hose it off. This guy's about 6 feet tall right now. Let's see if I can find some aphids again, already getting farmed by ants. You can see, maybe you can see these ants are doing their darndest to try to find some aphids to attach to the young growth up here. So I've got to watch this constantly, because if I don't watch it, the aphids will come attack, and they do a lot of damage on the new growth. The older leaves they kind of leave alone, but you want this guy to come in with healthy new growth and not have to struggle to fight off all the little aphids biting away at it. Again, it's about 6 feet tall, and it's the single stem apple tree. This is the double stem apple tree over here, the one I coined the Twin Towers, and I'll start at the base. You can see down here we've got 2 different stems on it. Now the plan, guys, really is that I'm going to remove this secondary branch right here. It's got some good growth on it, honestly, but the top is not growing too much. It's got a lot of new growth that's getting ready to come in, as you can see right here, but I think I want this apple tree to focus its growth on the main stem, which is back here. And it's got several different branches on it, as well as down here. And I like the way that this one is better. So I plan on cutting this one, not right now. At the 18th month mark, I'm probably just gonna give a nice cut right here and just let it focus solely on this one. Now I gotta be careful. I don't wanna cut this open and expose it to pests and have it die off. So the plan probably is to cut it off and then cover it with something like beeswax or wax or something, just so that it doesn't get anything inside of it or dry it out and cause any damage. This one's about 6.5 feet tall and growing pretty well as well. Now apple trees are famous for getting this root growth or this water sprouts growth, so I'm constantly pulling these little guys away. We don't need anything down low. I wanted to solely focus on fattening the trunk. This trunk's actually more like 1 inch around, so it's a thicker trunk, and I guess because it's supporting 2 liters here. But anyway, it's looking pretty good. So I just wanted to give you a look at that. Now let's go take a look at the main attraction. I say the main attraction because it's the one that's the biggest so far. So here's the main apple tree that I brought out here. It was the first one I brought out, and if you go back to one of the episodes earlier on, you'll see it. And again, it's 17 months old now. It's lasted through the winter. You can see it's really starting to put on some foliage. It's pretty much at the height of the fence. And I do know that it's not the best idea to top or trim a lot of the younger fruit trees in their first or second year. Only time you really want to top them or trim them is when you're trying to develop the canopy. But These were grown from seeds. They're probably going to be 20 to 30 feet tall. So I'm going to continue throughout this year to top it, shape it, just train it to not be as tall as it might want to get. I'm okay with it being 12 to 18 feet, just to be as tall as my magnolia here, but anything bigger than that is just going to be out of control, to tell you the truth, and it will impede some sun that comes across into my garden over here. So I wanted to give you a good look at it. It's doing just fine. A lot of new growth. It's got several shoots on it. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 different branches. So it's doing just fine. Again, my next update, I'll definitely at 18 months give it a nice trimming, and I'll show you that to you. But I'm pretty happy with the progress on this one so far at 17 months old. You can also see down here that the base is starting to get pretty thick. It's about the width of my finger, and I would say that's probably about a 3/4 inch round, maybe 5/8 trunk. So it's definitely putting on some girth. That's good, and I've got it supported with a couple of bamboos for now. So there you have it, everyone. There's my apple trees at the 17-month mark. Again, I will be back on the 18th month mark right around July 4th. If you're enjoying the series, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And as always, thanks for watching, and happy Memorial Day.